generate that much oxygen or that much uh, the harm which has been done to the environment if we take one mobile phone. So what we can do here, reduce. Like there are people, we all change mobile every one every year we are changing. So we can always reduce using the mobile, buying a new mobile very fast, because this is all related to sustainability. Why I'm talking about these two things basically because these are to the sustainability, reduce, reuse, and recycle. Recycle is basically you're talking about your like a very recent example, like all of us are buying milk in plastic pouches. So you can collect these pouches and you can always give it to a rag picker, or maybe people are even in small cities are selling it. You get good money if it is a polythene. I'm talking about only milk pouches. Yeah. Because others are laminates and all that cannot be risking. Milk pouches are getting good value, so that is our recyclability. Those are recycled and again pouches are made. So these are the three things: reduce, reuse, recycle, which are relatable to your daily life, right? So now sustainability development, sustainable development goals, we are coming straight to these things because these are the goals which were made in 2015 by the heads of 196 countries, right? 196 countries in Switzerland. That what all should be the goals more than a decade ago, and which at least define that what are we looking at the future and how we can go about it, right? So these are basically these are 17 goals, right? There are no poverty, zero hunger, quality education, good health. So if you take these 17, basically everything is covered. Yeah. So this is everything is covered means what are we looking at it and how we can make this world a better world. Sustainability actually means that what we are leaving for the future generations is a better world without depleting the resources and all. The oxymoron is that we are wanting a very fast growth, right? And at the same time we don't want that our resources will be depleted or reduced. So for that, basically, we have to keep on replacing them. Yeah. So this was already, I told you, this was done in 2015. This thing, yeah, social, economical, and social issues, making them work is everybody's responsibility. No poverty. Yeah. If the income is less than 1.25 USD per dollar per day, that was defined as the no poverty line, below poverty line. Yeah. So that was to be improved, and the aim is to eradicate extreme poverty by 2030. That was the target taken, and a lot of improvements are happening, but still poverty is there. There are a lot of, you see, I'll just tell you in the future slide, zero hunger. So hunger is a very big thing, we may not realize it. There are many people dying out of hunger, yeah. Malnutrition, protecting small farmers, protecting the genetic diversity of crops, produce, investing in research to make farming more productive. So all these things are basically to avoid hunger. So let me tell you, we have more food than what is required, but then food is wasted. So millions and millions of people remain hungry. Yeah. So that has to be done, that it goes to everyone, and then people don't remain hungry. Good health and well-being. That is also another very important point. How to ensure that health reaches to everyone. The health programs, like a lot of things are happening now in the last few years. in India also, a lot of these things are happening by Ayushman Bharat and things like that. So this, we all have access to good health and all, but there are many areas like African countries, many poor countries where there is virtually no good facilities. People are dying out of lack of treatment. Those things are there. Vaccination itself is a very important thing. So that was another goal decided. Then it was a quality education. Yeah. So quality education very important. The type of primary education. So primary education itself is very important, which is missing in many places, and taking up from there, from day one, the type of culture is inculcated, that how you can increase your employability. You know, apart from the bookish knowledge, every time one should try to go for different type of activities and different type of skills which are helpful to you, and then keep on upgrading. Right? And things are changing very fast. Like in the last few years, AI has become so important that everybody is talking about AI. So one has to keep on upgrading. For that, you need to find the goal. This is basically a role of governments and also people and policy making, that they provide good education, but it is our duty also that we go for the education which suits us. What we want to do, we should try to go for that. Yeah, gender equality is very important thing nowadays. Living in metros, we may not realize, but it has been a big problem of India. Countries like India, where girl children were not having access to education. I remember my grandmother was from a very rich family, but she managed to do high school, which was, she was the first one to do it, almost I would say 95 years ago. She did high school, so it was big thing that nobody in their close for many hundreds of kilometers, she was the only high school girl. So I would say now things have changed a lot, but that equality is still not there. Workplace equality, everywhere girls were missing. So that has to be eradicated. Even in smaller tier 3, tier 4 cities, if you go, still you would find, right? So for having a sustainable world, we have so many examples, right from Kalpana Chawla to so many. There's no limit. We're winning gold medals, who are winning this thing. Girls have won, I think, more medals in Olympics and Asian Games than males. So that speaks a volume about girl child. Clean water. Yeah? Basic water scarcity affects 40% of world population. So that is also very important. Yeah? I travel to some countries where this RO is not used, in Europe and all. In India, we have to use RO, we have to invest money and all, because the water coming by public transport is public distribution system is not good. Even the pipelines are 50 years, 100 years old. So sometimes you find smell in water. You can't live without a RO or something. I'm just giving an example of NCR Delhi. We talk about smaller cities. So quality of water is very important. But some countries have achieved it. You directly take the tap water and no use of RO or any other thing, filter and all. So we have to think about that in our country and otherwise worldwide also. Water is single most important thing apart from air and water. We can't live without these two basic things. Okay? Then toilets, lot of work has been done by this government, and I think still there's a long way to go. Basic needs, particularly in rural areas and all. Yeah? Then access to affordable, reliable, and sustainable and modern energy for all. Yeah. So, can you 1.3 billion, 130 crore people don't have access to electricity even today. Almost 800 crore which is a population 800 crore plus, 1.3 billion or 130 crores still don't have electricity. So to be taken care of by this thing. Employment is not there to 24 years of age. Young people don't have employment though they are out of their school. Yeah, those who are studying, that is different. I'm talking about those who are out of, they don't have employment. So closing the gap using innovation as well as separating growth from ecosystem degradation. That is very important. The main focus about everything is that what we have today, we have to grow and we don't have to deplete. We have to do everything so that the resources don't deplete. You understand? Deplete? They don't reduce. So water, like I give an example, this Ganga water about 50 years ago also when I was a child, this used to be very clean. In Rishikesh, Dehradun, even up to now you see for last 20-30 years. So we have spoiled a lot of industrial waste going to these Ganges, all these rivers. So a lot of industrialization has created problem because we did not do it in a very proper manner. This water should be treated before flowing into the rivers, those type of things.
ईयरफोन लगा के बैठ जाता है, कुछ सुनता ही नहीं है, फिर फैल जाता है। ऐसे लग रहा है ना।
Then industry innovation and infrastructure very important. Yeah, inclusive sustainability, industrialization, forestry, revolution is very important. Infrastructure like roads are being built nowadays, the elevated roads or the bullet trains. Infrastructure has to be very important. If you take 4 hours to reach there, you can reach in like metros. So that is very important. How you can improve this thing like trains, electric trains. You must have heard there is a hydrogen train. And anybody heard? This is a news just about 2 days ago. There is a hydrogen train which is going to start in Haryana between 2 stations. Hydrogen train, so which will be very much environmental friendly. Yeah. Even on the electricity, if we talk about electricity car or we talk about electricity trains, how this electricity is coming from where? Coal. So does anybody know that more than 70% energy or electricity in India is still from coal? The solar has gone very high in the last about 2014 onwards. Solar is now close to 10% of the total district, but rest is still coal, which cannot sustain even in your EV. If you somebody thinks they are using very green, but the electricity is coming from those energies. So there's a long way to go. Then we are talking about human settlement, inclusive, safe, resilient, and sustainable. Cities has to be sustainable. When we talk about cities, they have to be sustainable means there should be cities where the opportunities for all basic services, energy, housing, whatever waste you are generating, it is being treated. Yeah. Half the world population lives in cities. Targets for this goal into addressing transportation, disaster preparedness, as well as preservation of the world's cultural natural resources. The basic thing is that whatever garbage we are generating in terms of packaging and many other things, which everybody, e-commerce, this is increased. Every day you find so much of plastic. So that has to be converted into energy. Cannot be thrown into landfills. Like this Gazipur, if you know this area, I know this was supposed to be stopped sometime 2001. 2026 also it is continuing. I stay in Indrapuram, closer to that. People say younger children, this is. They say this is like maybe they don't understand that this is all sort of garbage there. Yeah, they feel this is a mountain. This is actually happened because they have seen it like a mountain only from day one. So that there is a definite. There is a very clear indication that government has failed there. Authorities have failed there. They should have treated it. They should have found some other sites. And our contribution is that we should not have contributed to that waste by reducing, reusing, and recycling. Right? Then we are talking about consumption and production patterns, food wastage, yeah, like हमने खाया just to throw out something, corporate sustainability practice, educating people on